Live from the WEAC studio in Oxford, you're watching the award-winning Pigskin Roundup on TV 24.
Take two. Welcome to Pigskin Roundup here on TV 24 and WOTM. I am Gerhard Mathangani, joined by a familiar face for those of you that have watched Pigskin Roundup for a very long time, Chad Barnett. Chad, it's great to have you back in house.
It's good to be back. It's been a couple years and just trying to make sure I don't make a fool of myself tonight. We get some scores out to you guys, having a little fun with it. So
exactly. We'll detail Chad's arrival once again back here on Pigskin Roundup coming up in just a little bit. But first, how you can watch Pigskin Roundup if you're new to these proceedings over on streaming and on your regular terrestrial televisions. TV 24 and WOTM is how you can watch this show on your television. Meanwhile, Pigskin Roundup is also on YouTube, and the link is available via our Facebook page, and you could catch that on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Catch the live stream link to how to watch this program here on Pigskin Roundup. And as Chad said, we'll get you some scores and highlights here in East Alabama. We'll get you the ticker as well. Thank you so much to Team One Automotive for sponsoring our show tonight. Chad, let's go straight to the highlights and straight to the scores we go. We'll start with Class 7A. It is Gadsden City playing in the first game in region play, and all these games that you'll see tonight are in region action. The Gadsden City Titans taking on Oak Mountain today. Oak Mountain with a 14-7 win over Gadsden City. The Eagles, remember, made the playoffs last year, went to the second round. They get the best of Gadsden City in a tight one, 14-7.
How about the Oxford Yellow Jackets this week, getting their first win on the field this week or this year, 24-7 over Scottsboro. Of course, they did get the win last week. That was the late forfeit because of the ineligible player. So Oxford moves to 2-1 on the season. Congratulations for them for the first win on the field tonight.
We spoke with Southside head coach last week, Miles Holcomb, and he had a nice way to kind of talk about the way his team is playing right now. And they got a big win today against Pell City, 21-14. Big win for the Panthers on the road, the first region win of Coach Holcomb's career at Southside.
How about that? A little defense for Southside, looking really good again this week. How about the Cherokee County Warriors going on the road tonight, and they defeat Springville tonight, 35-21. First win of the season for the Warriors.
A little bit of a bounce-back game today for Lincoln. You might remember Lincoln last week had to forfeit their game. Played a tight one against Leeds. Final score in that one, Leeds 19-13 over Lincoln in that region matchup.
Go back to the Alexandria Valley Cubs. How about the way they've looked this season? No Ronnie Royal, no problem so far. 45 points tonight by that Valley Cub offense. 45-22 is the score over the win tonight over Center Point.
Some special things going on over at Alexandria, and we'll talk about those in a moment. Meanwhile, Danny Horn and Central Clay with a win over Sylacauga, 23-7. They now run their record to a perfect 3-0. They're looking like once again contenders for a state championship. Now 3-0 on the season after that 23-7 victory.
Fighting Danny Horn's back at it again. Jacksonville and Anniston. This one was kind of the spotlight game of the week for most people in Calhoun County. And Jacksonville loses tonight a tough one to the Anniston Bulldogs, 22-9. Big region tilt there, and the Bulldogs now move to 3-0 on the season.
Exactly. That's also not a typo. They're both ranked number 9 in the state in Class 4A. They finished in a tie, according to the Alabama Sports Writers. But it is Anniston that comes out with the win. We expect them to possibly make a jump up in the polls coming up next week. Meanwhile, Hanley and Munford, this game was really tight at halftime, and you'll see highlights of this one coming up a little bit later in our program. But Hanley, the defending state champions, led by head coach Larry Strain, all over Munford in the second half, 40-10. Again, once again, highlights of that one coming your way in just a bit.
And we'll stay in the same region. Talk about a lot of really tough matchups in this region tonight. This one was a little bit closer than what some would have thought. Cleveland County, perfect on the season now, 3-0, but they had a tough-fought game tonight against White Plains. This game was within a score for the most part. It was 13-3 with about 2 minutes to go. Cleveland County does score a late touchdown to take on the 17-point win. White Plains falls to 1-2 on the season.
How about Cleveland County? 3-0 on the year, having a really, really
the Winneboro
solid
Hatchet was really big.
Exactly. 33-0. The Etowah Blue Devils picking up their first win of the season. It is a big one in region. So Coach Ryan Locke and the Blue Devils now 1-1 overall on the year. You might remember last year made it all the way to the state semifinal round, pick up their first win here in 2021.
Looks like I get the bonus of all the really big games in Cowan County because the Piedmont Bulldogs and the Sacs Wildcats going on in a big region tilt again tonight. Piedmont pulling away 28-12. Austin Estes with another big game for the Bulldogs. They are perfect on the season. They're only 2-0 because they did not play the first week. They had an open date in that slot.
And that one's our game of the week, and you'll see highlights of that one as well coming up in just a little bit. Meanwhile, another classic battle of two teams in that same Class 3A Region 5. I don't think the fact that Ohatchee won is impressive. I think the fact of how they won, 36-15 over Walter Wellborn. You might remember it wasn't that long ago. These two teams were in the top 5 of the Class 3A polls. Of course, Wellborn lost a lot last year. Lost Jet Smith and others, but it's Ohatchee. Coach Scott Martin and his Indians getting the win 36-15 over the Panthers.
Big for them too, because they're not used to being 0-2 here in the last few years.
Yeah.
Big bounce back win for them tonight. As we go to the northern side of the viewing area, as Hokes Bluff takes on Pleasant Valley. It was all the Eagles tonight, 41-0, blanking the Raiders, who moved to 0-3 on the season.
Nice win there by Hokes Bluff. Meanwhile, over in Class 3A Region 5, it is Weber, a 20-7 win over Glencoe. We will make sure we double check that one as well. So Weber with the win, it looks like on the season, and if so, that will be their first win in a very, very long time. And we'll confirm this and make sure to get a really interesting stat out to you if this is the case.
So no checkup needed on this next one because the Fife Rev Devils are on the field, so that means they do get the win.
Yeah.
Pretty much guaranteed every time they go out on a Friday night. They are 2-0 on the season, 50-0. They win over the Collinsville Panthers, and man, it just continues decade after decade. Benefield's got Fife rolling once again.
Exactly, and like you said, they're on the field. They've probably won. They've won a lot on a very, very long streak right now. Still chasing the final score of the Childersburg Reeltown game. This is one of those games that is not a region game. Childersburg 0-1 on the year after falling last week to BB Comer. We'll get to that final score coming up a little bit later in our program.
A score you were a little shocked about before we went on air. This one, kind of a surprise here. Sandrock getting the win over Westbrook tonight, number 8 in their classification, 32-13. So Sandrock with a big win tonight over the Warriors.
An impressive win by Spring Garden. This is a team that went all the way to the state semifinals last year and return a lot. Coach Jason Howard has his guys really rolling right now, and they rolled today all over West End. Final score 28-0 over the Patriots.
Gaston Bulldogs do not pick up the win tonight. They get a tough one as they lose to Southeastern 54-20. Bulldogs move to 0-3 on the season.
Also still chasing one over in the Woodville area. Actually, we got it now. 49-0 is the final score. The Conquerors, the Coosa Christian Conquerors, do get the win over Woodville. A very impressive win by Coosa Christian. And they do it so on the road. A nice victory there for the Conquerors.
Cedar Bluff, just off of Weiss Lake tonight, picking up a nice win, 33-26 over the rival Valley Head Tigers, who moved to 1-2 on the season. Cedar Bluff now 1-2 on the year.
Another 49-0 victory on our scoreboard. This time it is Wadley getting the big win over TCC. Nice win there by the Bulldogs. This is a very tradition-rich football program, and they get the win over another very talented football squad. 0-2 on the year, but Wadley is the victor at 49-0.
You still remember the days of Terrence Wilkes and
yeah.
Terrell Zachary? Big days down there in Wadley at that time. How about a big win tonight for Skylar Mansfield and his Winterboro Bulldogs? They moved to 2-1 on the season as they defeat the Raglan Purple Devils by a final score of 42-31.
You'll see highlights of this game coming up in just a little bit. Victory Christian and Donahoe. Victory Christian getting the win 28-7 over the Falcons at Lentzfield over in the Anniston area. Victory Christian looked really solid today. Donahoe playing with some heavy hearts, and we'll explain all of that in just a little bit. But it is Victory Christian from Pell City coming to Anniston and getting the win.
Kind of surprised on that one, but last night, the game that we had on the television.
That's right.
Mountain Brook, number 5 in the state, get a big win over the Woodland Colonels, 49-0, and again, that was played Thursday night.
3 games lined up with a 49-0 score, and we'll, of course, get you some of the other scores coming up in just a little bit. And Chad doing a great job tonight, filling in tonight, and he's filling in for a very special reason. It's a reason that really touches 3 different communities here in the state of Alabama. 3 deaths, tragically, over the course of the last week, all 19-year-olds. And it's one by Jace Alderman, second by the three you see on your screen right here, Leighton Ellison and, of course, Eli Babb. If you're unfamiliar, Jace Alderman is the brother to Anna Catherine Alderman, who you normally see right here on the Pigskin Roundup on Friday nights. And the other two also as well, both linemen for the Pike Company, working to help restoration and restore service to people. And this was the scene over at Donahoe today as they remembered the life of Jace Alderman today. And one of the things, Chad, I've always really loved about football is the fact that it's able to bring these communities together, and they did so once again tonight.
Yeah, sports have an uncanny way to do that. Anytime there's a tragedy, whether it's a national event, as we saw, in back in the days when World Trade Center went down, how the Yankees and all of everything just kind of was brought together back by sports. And it was obviously a tough night for the Falcons faithful, but to honor somebody in a way they did tonight was true class and just a good way to end the night.
100%. And they also had honorings over at Alexandria as well for the life of Leighton Ellison. Of course, Ellison was one of the kind of the bright spots of any team. I remember talking to him a couple of years ago, and he was just one of those, he lit up a room. And anybody that talked to him or about him always talked about his smile and his charm. And today over at Alexandria at the very famous Lou Scale Stadium, they honored him in a very special way.
Yeah, I think they had his number on the center of the field where you normally see the 50-yard line. It was painted with a 55 in honor of him. I thought that was really neat. And how about these kids? Just going out there trying to bring, like you said, some recovery to the area after a tragic, hurricane, and to lose their lives in such a manner. It's obviously terrible anytime anybody is gone. But at the age of 19, 20 years old, you really got to reach out to those parents, understand the depths and the pain that they're going through right now, and just send your prayers and thoughts to all those involved in this. Just a tough situation.
That's right. The Alderman family, the Ellison family, and the Babb family, as well as the Donahoe family, the Alexandria family, and those over in the Clanton area. Those are the areas that they represent. We remember them tonight. Mr. Alderman, Mr. Ellison, Mr. Babb, life well lived.
Hi folks, Angie Stevens here. Did you know that Team One Automotive employs more families than any other dealership in Northeast Alabama? We're proud to be the leader in serving this area simply by the number of employees we have on board. And we're looking for career-minded people to join us. So if you're interested in a long-term employment opportunity, come in and see any of our Team One dealerships for more information. So check us out now and apply online at teamoneconnect.com.
We were looking to sell our starter home and move into our dream home. After looking at all the options, we chose to work with ERA King. ERA means easy, responsive, and attention to detail. ERA King made the entire process of buying and selling a house easy. From helping us decide on a listing price to navigating the final closing, our agent worked with us every step of the way. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
Hey folks, this is George Brunner with Superior Hyundai and Superior GMC Cadillac. Superior offers a full lineup of new GMCs, Cadillacs, and Hyundai. Between our two locations in Anniston and the one in Pell City, we have a great selection. Superior has the best selection of used trucks I've ever seen, and I've been doing this a long time. See all our vehicles at our new website, superioralabama.com. That's superioralabama.com. Superior Hyundai and Superior GMC Cadillac, where you're always more than just a number.
Since 1848, First Bank of Alabama has been dedicated to our customers and excellence in all areas. With constant improvements to our facilities, to adding new products and services to better serve you, our team is fully engaged in all the communities we serve. First Bank of Alabama knows that time is money, so we offer hometown services with advanced technology that allows you to bank on your own schedule. We want to be your community bank, so stop by. Come see us at First Bank of Alabama, where you're always first.
Hey guys, you drive a truck? At Team One, we got trucks. Colorado, Silverado, Ram, Tacoma, Tundra, and the all-new Titan. Log on, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway? If you need a new vehicle and think you can't get financing, Team One can help. If you make $350 a week, Team One can finance you. Cars, trucks, and SUVs, Team One can finance you. Log on, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway?
Welcome back to the Pigskin Roundup presented by Team One Automotive, and we also want to thank one of our very special sponsors, Cutters pizza and wings. Yeah, I'll tell you what, at the end of a football game, you get back, the only thing that gives you the juice to get the edited highlights and shot sheets and whatnot is Cutter's Pizza and Wings. Visit their locations in Alexandria and in Oxford. Speaking of Alexandria, we have a special guest with us tonight here on the Pigskin Roundup. It is Alexandria head football coach Todd Ginn. And Coach, number one, congratulations on the victory. You and your squad have looked really good here over the past couple of weeks. Let's talk about tonight just in general. What were you able to do and execute to be able to pick up the victory?
Well, we thought as a staff, as going into the night and with everything that's kind of transpired over this week with our community and stuff, we just really challenged our guys to really try to focus in and get after it, from 7 to 9:30, and I was really pleased with our guys. A lot of them were hurt, and a lot of them knew Lake Nelson and played ball with him and that kind of stuff, and I was really proud of the way they focused in and really came out tonight. And I thought we played well last week against Jacksonville, and I was worried all week that we would maybe have a letdown with Center Point because we were able to beat them last year pretty bad, but they were good, and I knew they were athletic again tonight and was going to bring an athletic team in, and we just got on them from the get-go and really never took our foot off the pedal until we took our starters out.
Coach, Chad Barnett here. Wanted to ask you just about the depth of your team. You guys seem to have not just one answer offensively, or two. You seem to have a number of different ways you can go in order to put points up on the board.
Yeah, well, we the question mark I had, we lost our entire line last year, but we knew the guys we had coming back. We knew they were capable guys. We just knew they had to get experience real quick, and I was afraid it would take them a while to start gelling and getting that game time experience. But I'll tell you what, the biggest surprise to us has been how well our line is playing right now on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. But our offensive line, those are 5 new guys, and they've really come together. They block really well, and of course, we've got some tools in the tool belt and our skill guys. And but those linemen up front, you got to give all the credit to them for our success so far on offense, because those guys are making big plays in the backfield because our line is blocking really, really well right now. And then defensively, I think, we knew we were going to have to hang our hat on defense this year. And to start with, we thought big time because we're inexperienced, and the defense has played really, really well. Jacksonville had speed. Center Point had all kind of athleticism tonight and size, and our defense just really, really shut them down. I think it was 45-0 before we subbed, and our defense just played really, really well and fast tonight too.
One of the things you've always been known for is, number one, a really tough running game. And one of the things you brought last week is yet once again another really tough running game as well. You play in a very tough region. How important will that be as you guys move forward?
Well, I think anybody that knows football says if you're going to play defense the way we like to play defense, you've got to have a running game, and try to control things. And I feel like again we've got a pretty good running attack. We can throw it around as well. I think Center Point last year, we threw it around on them a bit early, and to combat that tonight, I think they just really tried to get up in our face. They got a couple of holding penalties early on our receivers. They were trying to play man to man because they knew they were kind of going to have to stop the run, and it gave us some big plays in the passing game and some other potential big plays as well. But I think they got 2 or 3 holding calls where we were just open. They just grabbed us to keep it from being a touchdown. But we're going to hang our hat on our defense and then on our rushing game and consistently try to get better throwing the football. And like I said, I think Ryan Scott brings that ability to throw it around, and then you got Javez who can put in a lot of different places, and Ross. And right now we can just attack in a lot of different areas. We'll stay healthy. That's going to be one of our main strengths.
Coach, your 4th year back, obviously you've been around Alexander for a day or two. 4th year, though, this year. Every year you've had the improvement. Made it to the playoffs first year, 2nd round the next year, 3rd round the following year. Now going into your 4th year, you're 2-0 undefeated. What's it going to take? What do you guys need to improve on the most to advance that improvement this year?
Well, I mean, I hate to say, sound cliche-ish or whatever, but we just really focus on us. In high school ball, it's so easy nowadays to start focusing on other things, and we just want to get better every week. We want to get better as men. We want to get better as players. We don't want to become complacent, and that's what I preach to these guys. Because a lot of people will say, you made it to the first round, and the second round, third round. Well, playoffs is all about the draw and how tough the regions are that you cross with and end up playing, and so how far we make it in the playoffs, this, that, and other. On the outside looking in, that does define success, in high school football. But to me, I'm just enjoying being around these guys already. It's a group that started as ninth graders when we came here, and has come through this past 4 years with us. And it's quality guys. It's just quality young men that you're not going to mind your daughter dating or hiring, to work for you one day. And that's really what they're already successful in that aspect. So this game, especially with what this community went through this week, this game is just a game, and I love it because it's made my living, and I'm competitive at it. And our staff's competitive, and we play a good brand of ball over here, but when it comes down to it, it's a game that we love and our community loves and comes out and supports us, and our boys play really hard and get after it for us.
Final question for you, Coach. You mentioned earlier about how tough this week was for the entire community and how tough it was for the players. They were able to get it done, as you said, from 7 o'clock to 9:30, being able to focus and stay strong with them. We all know Leighton from a watching him standpoint, watching him play football, watching him play baseball. You have a unique relationship because you were able to coach him. Who was Leighton Ellison, and who will you remember as you think back on your fine start?
Leighton was a guy that brightened the room when he came in it. That's just the way I look at it. Through the times I've coached Leighton, I would be telling the story if I told you I didn't jump on him pretty good at times. But he could take any criticism, and he could take motivation and being pushed, and he would always, I love that kid, and I love his family, and this community loved that kid, and he was just a guy that, immediately. If you think about Leighton, you think about his smile, and you think about his eyes and how he'd brighten up a room with his personality. He kind of, there's people out there that take a stressful situation and make it non-stressful, and he's one of those dudes that was able to do that in any situation and not take life too seriously. He loved Alexandria. He loved everything about Alexandria, and he'll be missed, and it's just a tragic situation of accidents happen and that kind of thing, but Leighton will be missed, but Leighton was a good Alexandria guy that this community loved.
Your team and your community certainly made him proud, and we know that he'll be watching over you throughout the course of the season. You'll continue to make him proud with you and your team and your play as you move forward. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. I know it hasn't been an easy week, but congratulations on the win. Thank you for joining us here on the Pigskin Roundup.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely. That is the head coach of the Alexandria Valley Cubs, Todd Ginn, joining us here on the Pigskin Roundup. We will move forward with highlights tonight as well. We'll move over to Class 1A. It is our first region game in the very tough region that Victory Christian and Donahoe play in. And this is, once again, another very tough football game. And you saw earlier about Jace Alderman and what he meant to the Donahoe community. And there you see him being honored as a captain today, running out with the Falcons. But running out so far early on in this game was Victory Christian, the Lions, playing well early on the move there. Sergeant Shepard, 10-yard run and a first down. A little bit later, and his running back, Andrew Ochoa. A very tough run, lots of yards after the contact, picks up 17 and another first down. A little bit later on, Ochoa, again, another tough run, sneaks it inside that 10-yard line, and then when you get down to the 1-yard line, you just go to that quarterback sneak, and it's Shepard capping off the first touchdown drive with the score right there. Extra point no good. Lions up 6-0. Next Donahoe possession is Rich Hopkins. Play action, hits Grant Seed in the flats, picks up 10 yards and a first down, but the Falcons would end up punting. Next victory drive, no one open for Shepard, so what does he do? Wisely tucks it and runs it for a nice big gainer. Finally tackled well inside Donahoe territory at the 25-yard line. A few plays later, running back Riley Meadows seals the deal with a 6-yard touchdown run. The 2-point conversion would be good, and the Lions take a 14-0 lead. In the second quarter, more trouble for Donahoe's offense. Victory's Billy Davenport gets his hands on the football, and Caden Brunson playing the trip drill perfectly. Nice return back into Donahoe territory. Ensuing drive, Shepard drops back, hits Meadows along the far sideline. Meadows with a tough run, breaks a pair of tackles, keeps the Lions on track, moves the chains, and Lions are on the move, and a couple of plays later go back to the air. You go back to Meadows, perfect pass, 16-yard touchdown. Lions had a 21-0 lead at halftime, and as you saw earlier, Victory Christian goes on to win this football game. A final score 28-7. So Victory Christian gets the victory today over Donahoe. As I mentioned earlier, Donahoe honoring today and Jace Alderman. They lose on the field. However, the Falcons, I'm sure, will have a very, very good team as they move forward. Coach Sanders and crew always do a fine job just about every year.
Yeah, they do. And it's a little surprised about the score tonight.
Right.
I figured, maybe that would have been a little bit tighter. But, like I said, great win or a great effort tonight. And certainly what they did to honor the kid is obviously amazing.
100%. Well, coming up next here on the Pigskin Roundup, we will have more scores. We'll also have more highlights. We'll also talk to the head coach of the Talladega Tigers, Shannon Felder, coming up next.
I was finally ready to buy my first home after renting for the last several years. As I started my search, I got overwhelmed by how many websites and confusing listings there are. That's when I found the experts at ERA King. To me, ERA means expertise, reliability, and activity. I depended on them to find a home in my budget, and they didn't stop working until the keys were in my hands. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
Since 1848, First Bank of Alabama has been dedicated to our customers and excellence in all areas. With constant improvements to our facilities, to adding new products and services to better serve you, our team is fully engaged in all the communities we serve. First Bank of Alabama knows that time is money, so we offer hometown services with advanced technology that allows you to bank on your own schedule. We want to be your community bank, so stop by. Come see us at First Bank of Alabama, where you're always first.
Right now at Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor, the keyword is free. Buy any type of flooring at Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor and we'll install it absolutely free. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, or vinyl, get it professionally installed absolutely free. Why pay to have your new floor installed when you can have it installed absolutely free and get 0% financing for an entire year? That's right, free interest for an entire year and free installation. That's Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor's free installation sale going on right now.
If you need a new vehicle and think you can't get financing, Team One can help. If you make $350 a week, Team One can finance you. Cars, trucks, and SUVs, Team One can finance you. Log on, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway? Hey guys, you drive a truck? At Team One, we got trucks. Colorado, Silverado, Ram, Tacoma, Tundra, and the all-new Titan. Log on, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway?
Welcome back to Pigskin Roundup, brought to you by Team One Automotive. Here on the Pigskin Roundup, we are honored to be joined by the head coach of the Talladega Tigers tonight, head coach Shannon Felder. And Coach, I know it's been a tough night for you and your ball club. One of the things that we wanted to talk about was your team in general, but talk about your team tonight and the way they were able to handle all the situations and circumstances of this evening.
Well, we came out playing pretty good. Went in at halftime with a little lead. We went in at halftime. We had a little lead. I was a little bit concerned because we had a few guys that was banged up, and so we really spent a lot of the halftime trying to treat some injuries, and I really didn't get to spend a lot of time trying to come up with a strategy because we had so many guys that were dealing with some aches and pains, and whether it was arms or hands. So, but we, I thought we played hard. Second half, we didn't play as well as we did the first half. We came out and fumbled the opening kickoff, and then the next series we come out and the quarterback, made a mistake. Young quarterback called the wrong play, and we turned the ball over again. So back to back, they got the ball.
and then they was able to score and extend the lead on us. And from that point on, we were trying to play catch up.
Coach, obviously a tough loss tonight, but you guys not a lot of time to really think about it. You got to travel to Pell City, another crosstown rival there. Going to be another tough game for you guys next Friday night. How you guys regroup and try and get one back on the W column?
Yeah, we're going to get the guys off Sunday. We'll come back Monday, and we'll try to have a light practice Monday again because, like I said, we beat up pretty good. We don't have a lot of players this year, and guys are taking a pretty good beating these last couple of games. So we'll rest on Sunday, come back Monday, and then we'll go to work and try to get ready to play up Pell City.
Coach, we'll keep this short because we know right now you're doing the job of all coaches, having to take care and tend right now to a player that is in the hospital. You don't have to give any details, but number one, we believe from our conversations that he will be okay, this young man, and we hope so. Is that the case as of right now?
Yes, we were reading from the X-rays, and the paramedic was back there, and the doctor said that the X-rays looked pretty good. He hadn't come out and talked to his parents yet, but from all indications, everything is looking good, and he'll just he's dealing with a tough injury, but he should be able to play. Probably won't make the Pell City game, but he'll probably be ready for the next game we have after that. So that's positive. I'm glad about that. I'm super excited for him because I know he's ready to get back out there, and he'll probably beg me to play, but we're gonna hold him out until he's ready to go.
Understandable. And Coach, thank you so much for joining us. And we know his health is number one. Great to hear that the early prognosis is really good. Best of luck to you along the way, and thank you so much for joining us here on the Pigskin Roundup.
All right, thank you guys for having me. You guys do a great job. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. We'll see you down the road. Coach Shannon Felder of the Talladega Tigers. Before we go, we want to give you a quick highlight or a quick score update really fast. It was a really tight game between two teams playing a non-region game, and it is Reeltown that picks up the victory, 22-21 over Childersburg. Of course, Childersburg lost last week to BB Comer. Reeltown getting the victory today. A really tight game there as those two teams get together. The Rebels do get the win. Meanwhile, a game you saw yesterday right here on WOTM, it was Woodlawn and Mountain Brook opening up region play in Class 6A. Mountain Brook, one of these teams that they were in that kind of that upper echelon of Class 6A when they were in 6A with everybody else, with the Hoovers and the Spain Parks and everybody. And then when they broke off to 7A and there was a break off in 7A, Mountain Brook went back down to 6A, and so far right now it looks to be like they're one of the top teams kind of in the class of Class 6A football, Mountain Brook and Woodlawn. And I'll tell you what, this Spartans team looks really, really good.
Anytime you can have that switch over, going down a classification, it's typically where you're going to find your sweet spot as far as the numbers are concerned, how you're going to match up with the other teams in your region, and obviously being one of the biggest 6As in the state, that's definitely going to benefit them, and it looks like it's definitely do that right now.
Exactly. So we'll go straight to the highlights from last night of this big matchup between Mountain Brook and Woodlawn. This was an early domination from the Spartans. John Colvin to Jake Thompson. It's a 47-yard touchdown pitch and catch right there. I'll tell you what, the Mountain Brook defense was just incredibly special yesterday. The pressure there, Jones Beavers with the interception, that led to the short field. Colvin to Sims Brown, a 6-yard touchdown pass, 14-0 early. Then the defense steps up again. Trent Wright, scoop and score. Many thanks to John McMillan with the strip. 21-0 early. Pressure once again. Give him 2 picks, Chad. That is Jones Beavers. Second pick of the day. Once again, another short field. It is Colvin to Jackson Beatty for the touchdown. How about this stat line for Colvin? 5 of 6, 82 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had more touchdowns than he had incompletions in the game.
Not bad.
Meanwhile, back to the ground game. They were grounding and pounding. Heath Griffin, 99 yards on 9 carries. And then when the backup quarterback got into the game, John Cooper, he made the most of it. 21-yard run there, 42-0 at the half.
Making his name in the paper.
Exactly. That's the way you have to do it. Jack King capped off the night with the exclamation point with a 60-yard run, 92 yards on the night on 9 carries, and Coach Chris Yeager and his squad pick up the big victory, 49-0 out with a very talented Woodlawn team in the house yesterday on Thursday night. It's one of those things where I kind of compared it to when you have a really good basketball team and they just run that press, and that press sets up easy layups. Yeah. Mountain Brook felt like they were on the short side of the field the entire game, and when you have a quarterback going 5 of 6, 3 touchdowns, not much more you could do there. And so Coach Chris Yeager caught up with us after the game, talked about his performance from his young guys and the defense.
Defense gives you great field position like we had tonight and gives you turnover. A lot of good things are going to happen. You're going to put some points on the board. So, you know, the defense, they've just gotten better every week and done a great job. You know, we lost a lot of guys off of the last year's team. And Coach Evans and his staff, they've done a great job just getting guys ready to play this year and playing at a high competitive level. We went in at halftime and told our players to coach one another. We told the older players to coach the young players so that they would be engaged in what was going on. So I think that made a big difference. You know, sometimes those younger players will listen to the older players better than they will us. So I feel like the fact that we got to play a lot of guys tonight, I feel like we got better.
So that was the WOTM AHSAA Network Game of the Week last week. Coming up this week, you can catch this game on WOTM and My 68 WABM, ABM. You have the Mountain Brook game last week. You go down in conference, or down in classification to Class 5A. Pleasant Grove and Winona. This is going to be a big matchup between these two teams, and we've had a pretty good matchups on paper for the first couple of weeks, and I'll tell you what, Chad, it looks like a pretty nice road going down the road as well.
Yeah, and Pleasant Grove, obviously one of the better teams in the state just about every year. That's obviously going to be a big one. And then Oxford and Gadsden City. This should be interesting now that Oxford gets back in the win column tonight on the field. You know they got to be feeling really positive about that. So that could be a really good game here coming up in a couple of weeks. Exactly,
and a couple of games still to be determined there, and then they'll close up the season with another monster matchup as well. All those games seen Thursday night right here on WOTM. It's the WOTM AHSAA TV Network Game of the Week, and we'll have that coming your way each week right here on our program. Well, coming up next here on the Pigskin Roundup, we will have some more scores. We'll try to get you some more highlights as well. That and more coming up next on our program.
Hey folks, I just want to remind you all that Team 1 Automotive is proud to be a part of Pigskin Roundup, proud to be a part of this community, and we want you on our team.
We were looking to sell our starter home and move into our dream home. After looking at all the options, we chose to work with ERA King. ERA means easy, responsive, and attention to detail. ERA King made the entire process of buying and selling a house easy. From helping us decide on a listing price to navigating the final closing, our agent worked with us every step of the way. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
Hi folks, Angie Stevens here. Did you know that Team 1 Automotive employs more families than any other dealership in Northeast Alabama? We're proud to be the leader in serving this area simply by the number of employees we have on board. And we're looking for career-minded people to join us. So if you're interested in a long-term employment opportunity, come in and see any of our Team 1 dealerships for more information. So check us out now and apply online at team1connect.com.
Right now at Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor, the keyword is free. Buy any type of flooring at Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor and we'll install it absolutely free. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, or vinyl, get it professionally installed absolutely free. Why pay to have your new floor installed when you can have it installed absolutely free and get 0% financing for an entire year? That's right, free interest for an entire year and free installation. That's Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor's free installation sale going on right now.
Hey guys, you drive a truck? At Team 1, we got trucks. Colorado, Silverado, Ram, Tacoma, Tundra, and the all-new Titan. Log on, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway?
Welcome back to the Pigskin Roundup, brought to you by Team 1 Automotive. We will reset here and give you a quick rundown of all the scores in the East Alabama community and beyond. Gadsden City Titans falling on the road today at Oak Mountain. First game of that very tough Class 7A Region 3. The Eagles get the win 14-7.
Oxford with their first win on the field this year, 24-7 over the Scottsboro Wildcats. Big win for the Yellow Jackets moving forward.
Another huge win, this one in region. The first for Coach Miles Holcomb and Southside, 21-14 on the road at Pell City.
How about the Cherokee County Warriors getting a big win tonight over the Springville Tigers by 2 touchdowns, 35-21 the final.
leads 19, Lincoln 13. Some adversity for Lincoln, but they do play a good game against the number 4 team in the state, 19-13 Green Wave.
Talked to the Valley Cub head coach Todd Ginn just a few minutes ago. His Alexandria Valley Cubs winners tonight, big, 45-22.
Meanwhile, Coach Danny Horn and Central Clay County over Sylacauga. Final score 23-7.
The battle of the nines, Jacksonville and Anniston tonight. The Bulldogs more than double up the Golden Eagles, 22-9, the final in this one.
The defending 4A state champion once again looked the part. Hanley, the number 2 team in the state, all over Munford. A lot of that damage in the second half. You'll catch highlights of this one, 40-10 the final.
Tight ball game all night, 6-3 at the half, 20-3 at the end of the game. Cleveland County with a late touchdown to go up 20-3 over the White Plains Wildcats.
And while Blue Devils getting the shutout and their first win of the season, knocking off Aniana, final score 33-0.
How about the Piedmont Bulldogs continuing to roll under Steve Smith once again, 28-12, impressive win over the 10th-ranked Sax Wildcats.
Meanwhile, Ohatchee and Wellborn tangoing, and today Ohatchee getting the victory, 36-15 over the Panthers.
It was Hokes Bluff blanking Pleasant Valley tonight, 41-0, no problem for the Eagles tonight.
Weaver getting the win for the first time in a very long time. Weaver 20-7 over Glencoe.
And we said Fife was playing, correct?
That's right.
They win 50-0 over Collinsville.
Very tight game that you saw just a minute ago. The Rebels of Reeltown with the win over Childersburg, 22-21.
Sandrock with a big upset win tonight over the Westbrook Christian Warriors, 32-13 over the number 8 team in the state.
Meanwhile, Spring Garden, a shutout today against West End. Final score 28-0. The Panthers once again rolling.
Southeastern having their way tonight with the Gaston Bulldogs, 54-20. In this one, Southeastern now 2-0 on the year.
You will see 49-0, a lot coming up over the next couple of graphics here. This time it's Cruiser Christian over Woodville. The Conquerors getting the victory.
Cedar Bluff Tigers with a big win off of the banks of Lake Weiss tonight, or Weiss Lake. Which one is it? I never have understood.
I've always heard Weiss Lake.
33-26, the winners over Valley Head.
49-0 once again. It's deja vu all over again. This time it is Wadley over TCC as the Bulldogs get the W.
The Fighting Skylar Mansfields win tonight over the Raglan Purple Devils. Big win for the Winterboro Bulldogs, 42-31 over Raglan.
Victory Christian comes from the Pell City area over to the Anniston area, and they get a big victory on the road, 28-7 over Donahoe.
And how about the big game we just talked about? Mountain Brook, number 5 in the state, 49-0 over Woodlawn.
Big matchups there, all in region play. The first games in the region part of the schedule right now, all over the state of Alabama. All those games, most of those games, region games outside of one of them. Now it's time to honor our player of the week, and it comes from Gadsden City. It is C.J. Miller of Gadsden City. 16 carries. You see him right here, 159 yards and 3 touchdowns. Gadsden City picking up the nice win today, last week, 34-10. Much ado off the back of C.J. Miller.
I feel like I'm in Star Wars here. It's like, exactly. I'm like a young Padawan here, just being lifted up in the middle. Nice.
Exactly. Cool. Good stuff there by C.J. Miller and the Gadsden City Titans. Well, our game of the week, Chad, was a good one between Piedmont and Saxon. We figured this region is going to be tough just about every single year, and this year, once again, no different.
Yeah, no different as Sax and Piedmont. You know, this is kind of a possible precursor of what many think that we may see again down the stretch as Sax tonight taking on the Piedmont Bulldogs. We'll go to the highlights as we are at Sax, and you know, like I said, it could be a preview. Both these teams, both state ranked. Really good matchup, a lot of eyeballs on this. Steve Smith now in his 16th season at Piedmont. They're undefeated this year, trying to continue that road. And Jonathan Miller, we were talking about this just a minute ago. Jonathan Miller and Clint Smith both took over at the same time. So they've been there 10 years now.
That's right.
I don't know if I'm getting old or I'm just losing my mind. 10 years, it still feels like just a couple of years ago. We'll go right to the highlights. First quarter bomb by Jack Hayes to Max Hansen. 4 plays in, they are well within Sax territory. Next play, Hayes going to hand it off to Braden Morgan. He's going to put the Bulldogs up early, 6-0, extra point, no good. The Wildcats, though, answer back, driving back down the field. Sean Parnell gives it off to Jalen McCants, and he's in there for the score again. So we're tied up at 6. Again, extra point, no good, no problem. We're still tied. How about this kid, though? Man, he's good. Austin Estes, the big 54-yard run back on the kick. And he is just a fantastic athlete. Baseball, football, whatever you want to call it. Incredible athlete. And now Hayes runs it in to bring it in to 12-6. Now Piedmont is on top. Not a fan of extra points tonight, I don't guess. Sacks trying to get something going on offense. Parnell throws to McCants and gets annihilated by defensive back Cody Holloway. The Bulldogs get the ball back in the second quarter, winds down. Hayes showing off that arm again. Another long pass to guess who? Austin Estes should be playing on Saturdays at some point next season. 20-6 at this point. Sacks trying to get some momentum going here right before half, but it's going to come up as an incomplete pass. And we'll go to the halftime score, which would put the Bulldogs up 20-6, and they go on to win tonight. Impressive win for Steve Smith and his Bulldogs over the Sacs Wildcats, 28-12.
This is one of those really fun regions to watch just about every year. You normally have a log jam right there between 2, 3, 4, and 5 as far as the overall records go. And this is really big for Piedmont, being able to get a win over Sacs, and a Sacs team that I think that we both think will probably be pretty impressive as the season rolls along.
Yeah, and it's always good to see these regions whenever it happens like this, when you have two good teams meeting in the regular season. It could be just creating some good film for maybe a Week 13 matchup.
Right.
And it's always good to see whenever the regions are so good that they have a chance to revisit, and that always makes for great football down the stretch for us.
Exactly. Thank you so much for our game of the week, Piedmont and Sacs. Coming up next here on our program, we will have some more highlights. We'll see the highlights of that Jacksonville-Anniston game. We'll also catch highlights of the Hanley-Munford game as well. All that and more comes your way next on the Pigskin Roundup.
I was finally ready to buy my first home after renting for the last several years. As I started my search, I got overwhelmed by how many websites and confusing listings there are. That's when I found the experts at ERA King. To me, ERA means expertise, reliability, and activity. I depended on them to find a home in my budget, and they didn't stop working until the keys were in my hands. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
Since 1848, First Bank of Alabama has been dedicated to our customers and excellence in all areas. With constant improvements to our facilities, to adding new products and services to better serve you, our team is fully engaged in all the communities we serve. First Bank of Alabama knows that time is money, so we offer hometown services with advanced technology that allows you to bank on your own schedule. We want to be your community bank, so stop by. Come see us at First Bank of Alabama, where you're always first.
Right now at Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor, the keyword is free. Buy any type of flooring at Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor and we'll install it absolutely free. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, or vinyl, get it professionally installed absolutely free. Why pay to have your new floor installed when you can have it installed absolutely free and get 0% financing for an entire year? That's right, free interest for an entire year and free installation. That's Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor's free installation sale going on right now.
If you need a new vehicle and think you can't get financing, Team One can help. If you make $350 a week, Team One can finance you. Cars, trucks, and SUVs, Team One can finance you. Log on, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway? Hey guys, you drive a truck? At Team One, we got trucks. Colorado, Silverado, Ram, Tacoma, Tundra, and the all-new Titan. Log on, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway?
Welcome to Pigskin Roundup, brought to you by Team One Automotive. We want to thank one of our very fine sponsors, Cutter's Pizza and Wings. They fed our crew tonight. Visit their locations in Oxford as well as Alexandria. Thank you so much to Cutter's Pizza and Wings for your service this year as well as all year long here on the Pigskin Roundup. And coming up next here on our program, we're going to go through some more highlights. But first, we had a blast from the past earlier, and now we have a new face to introduce you. The new face that we'll introduce you to is Mark Everett Kelly. You'll see him here periodically on our program. Mark, you come to us from the New York area, have some background at ESPN. Tell the fine folks here in the state of Alabama about you and your background.
Yeah, basically I was at ESPN from 2000 to 2008. I had to retire due to health reasons because I'm a long-term cancer survivor. And I came down here in September, hooked up with Gerhard doing overtime. So we do overtime twice a week, and that's how we got to really know each other. And getting used to this high school football scene, which is very exciting for me. High school football isn't that great or built up that much in the Northeast as it is down here. So this is really fun for me getting to watch this and get to know some of these teams.
Exactly. He went to the Jacksonville-Anniston game. We'll have that game coming up in just a bit. But first, let's go over to the Munford area. Munford hosting Hanley, the defending Class 4A state champion. And we'll bring you that game first coming out of 4A, the Munford and Hanley matchup. Once again, Hanley, the number 2 team in the state, going into the defending champions as well, going into Munford, going into that Lions Den. Let's take you over there to homecoming night. Hanley and Munford, once again, it's a very festive atmosphere as the defending state champions taking on the Munford Lions. Munford getting the ball early on, but that Tiger defense was very, very strong in the early going. Really nowhere to run for Munford early on. There you see, ending up with the Dakota Frank field goal, makes it 3-0. Munford on the board first. Then Hanley's Jamarius Haynes answers right back with the run. Nice run right up the middle with a touchdown for the Tigers, and the extra point is blocked. So that's the early 6-3 lead for the Hanley Tigers. Meanwhile, Jamarius Harris answers back with a big 81-yard run for the touchdown for the Tigers. He also, after that, carry it for the 2-point conversion. And what a great play. Good back-to-back plays there by Haynes, and Haynes coming up big time, 14-3. Munford, though, not giving up, though. Jacoby Young runs in for the touchdown right here, 14-10 after the extra point was the score at the half. Very close ball game at half, 14-10, but it winds up being 40-10. The Tigers getting the win, the number 2 team in the state. Also the defending state champions getting the nice win at the Lions Den. Final score 40-10. We'll be back with the Pigskin Roundup coming up in just a bit. Mark will also be back. We will talk about that monster matchup in just a bit. Jacksonville and Anniston comes your way in a little bit here on the Pigskin Roundup.
Hey folks, I just want to remind you all that Team 1 Automotive is proud to be a part of Pigskin Roundup, proud to be a part of this community, and we want you on our team.
We were looking to sell our starter home and move into our dream home. After looking at all the options, we chose to work with ERA King. ERA means easy, responsive, and attention to detail. ERA King made the entire process of buying and selling a house easy. From helping us decide on a listing price to navigating the final closing, our agent worked with us every step of the way. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
Hey folks, this is George Brunner with Superior Hyundai and Superior GMC Cadillac. Superior offers a full lineup of new GMCs, Cadillacs, and Hyundai. Between our 2 locations in Anniston and the one in Pell City, we have a great selection. Superior has the best selection of used trucks I've ever seen, and I've been doing this a long time. See all our vehicles at our new website, superioralabama.com. That's superioralabama.com. Superior Hyundai and Superior GMC Cadillac, where you're always more than just a number.
Right now at Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor, the keyword is free. Buy any type of flooring at Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor and we'll install it absolutely free. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, or vinyl, get it professionally installed absolutely free. Why pay to have your new floor installed when you can have it installed absolutely free and get 0% financing for an entire year? That's right, free interest for an entire year and free installation. That's Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor's free installation sale going on right now.
Hi folks, Angie Stevens here. Did you know that Team 1 Automotive employs more families than any other dealership in Northeast Alabama? We're proud to be the leader in serving this area simply by the number of employees we have on board. And we're looking for career-minded people to join us. So if you're interested in a long-term employment opportunity, come in and see any of our Team 1 dealerships for more information. So check us out now and apply online at team1connect.com.
Hey guys, you drive a truck? At Team 1, we got trucks. Colorado, Silverado, Ram, Tacoma, Tundra, and the all-new Titan. Log on, driveteam1.com. What's in your driveway?
Welcome back to the Pigskin Roundup, brought to you by Team 1 Automotive. As promised, Mark and his crew was over at the Jacksonville Anniston game. It's a really big matchup at a Class 4A. Mark, tell us what happened.
So Anniston hosting Jacksonville, looking to end start 3-0 for the first time since 2009 and end a 2-game losing streak against the Golden Eagles. Jacksonville enters 1-1, but they're coming off a tough 42-6 loss to Alexandria. Early on, Cameron Smith connects with Spooty Kite on a 43-yard touchdown pass. The Alabama commit had touchdown passes at 67 and 51 last week as well. Anniston then completes the two-point conversion. A sophomore, Malachi Taylor runs it in for an 8-0 lead. The Bulldogs defense, led by seniors number 12, Mike Lynn Carmichael and Jacques Thomas, stuffed Taz Morrison. The Golden Eagles won game 8-0 Anniston after 1. Here on 3rd and 18, Sandlin stopped short for the first down by Juan Canales, who was all over the field from Jacksonville. Setting up this, whoop, 4th down, fake punch. Marius Bellinger runs for the first down. Taylor then continues his first half dominance, trailing off this long run to put Anniston in the red zone. Sandlin then completes the drive with a 6-yard touchdown run, 14-0 Anniston. On Jacksonville's final drive of the first half, Jacoby Zachary hits Morris for a big play, setting up this. Kicker Mason Terrell hits a 48-yarder, 14-3 Anniston at the half, 22-9 Anniston wins, snaps an 8-game losing streak against Jacksonville and starts 3-0 for the first time since 2009.
22-9 right there you see is the score, and we got a great chance to see those Anniston Bulldogs. You mentioned that defense, and I tell you what, the All Black once it looked really intimidating, and it looked really good on the field as well. And I think once again another strong defensive performance.
Here's the other interesting thing: in that Class 4A Region 5, you have Cleburne County starting 3-0 as well. That's the first time for Cleburne County starting 3-0 since 2007. So them and Anniston play on October 22nd. I'm looking forward to that matchup.
100%. We got about a minute and a half left in our program today. Number one, Chad, thank you so much for coming in and filling in. Kind of a blast from the past.
Yep.
Mark is a guy that you'll see here on the Pigskin Roundup. He worked about a decade over at ESPN as a researcher and historian, now in the East Alabama area. Glad to have your talents in. Both of you guys, number one, let's talk about your overall observations of the day and some of the things you're looking forward to as the season moves along.
A couple of things. You mentioned at Cleburne County, with them being undefeated for the first time since, back in the Michael Short days. It's good to see because it's been a minute, since we've seen them kind of at the top, and they really look good tonight. Very physical, hard-fought game over White Plains tonight.
Exactly. Same with you.
I saw them the first week against Ohatchee, and the way last year started out 5 in the last 7 games, and they're young too. They're led by sophomores. Kyler McGrin is a very good quarterback who has a lot to offer going forward. So I'm excited to see that matchup. 2 really talented teams in Class 4A Region 5.
Exactly. Class 4A Region 5 and 3A Region 5, 7A Region 3. Lots of really interesting regions to look at as we go throughout the course of the season. Week 1 of region play is now in the books, and of course we have a long way to go before we determine playoff seeding, but this is where it starts here in region play. Thank you so much for joining us here on our program. Pigskin Roundup brought to you by Team 1 Automotive. Keep it right here on TV24 and WOTM. Our friends Buckethead and the King will be here for high school primetime. That comes your way next here on TV24 and WOTM. Thanks for joining us.
Hi folks, Angie Stevens here. Did you know that Team 1 Automotive employs more families than any other dealership in Northeast Alabama? We're proud to be the leader in serving this area simply by the number of employees we have on board. And we're looking for career-minded people to join us. So if you're interested